Welcome back, Western Slope. Happy Friday. I'm Josephine Sage. Let's talk weather. And speaking of weather, today, rides and vibes in downtown Grand Junction. Lots going on. Bike races, beer, brewskis, and lots of live music. And I know it's early and we're talking about this, but there's lots going on today. And it's going to be a nice morning, nice afternoon. Those temperatures in the late afternoon will be a tad bit on that cool side of things, low 60s, which is shy of those seasonal averages. Some cloudy skies. We might even have a little bit of chance for some spring showers later today. Because those widespread storms are returning, there might be a little bit of some snow, some May snow, if you will, some spring snow. Winter just will not let go of those higher elevation areas. And we are expecting, even though we have this unsettled weather, there's a warm up to continue by just a few degrees every single day, especially here locally in the valleys. That chance for precip, though, like I mentioned, is a little bit lower than what we originally predicted, at least for this afternoon, peaking up to 60% on Saturday before dropping on off through the early work week. And so maybe tomorrow afternoon is actually when the bulk of this moisture, not maybe, that is when the bulk of this moisture is going to hit the ground, mostly in those later afternoon hours, and on and off showers can be seen all day with all those temperatures in the 60s. Now there is a winter weather advisory active through those southern regions and pushing towards that front range just a tad bit, at least until 6 p.m. tonight. Now I wouldn't be surprised if this does get extended because in a lot of regions, at least in the high regions, snow is going to hit the ground up to 6 inches at that. That overall setup for today does show that the bulk of this moisture, a bulk of the snow is again through just around Mineral County. And then we'll see just a little bit of that, precip, that rain move up towards our way before we get a little bit of a break late tonight and into tomorrow. Speaking of getting into tomorrow, we're noticing that by the time these storms come and go through the afternoon hours, that break will just happen right after dinner time, 8 p.m. and we're only going to see that moisture through the I-70 corridor. Those travel plans might be a tad bit hindered due to wet roads, but overall it's going to be quite a nice kind of shower. Spring showers, not much snow except on those mountaintops. And then again, on and off showers all day through Saturday, even in those late afternoon hours before it clears on out and leaves us with some sunshine, at least on Sunday late night hours and starting the early work week. But I did mention snow hitting the ground, 6 inches in just about all of these areas, maybe a little bit more through Aspen and Telluride. Now I also want to chat about these afternoon highs we'll be feeling today. Yes, that hour by hour only has us kind of getting into those mid 60s, but we are making our way up to maybe about 68 in Grand Junction and 61 through Montrose. Now our pollen forecast from the Allergy and Asthma Center of Western Colorado hasn't really shifted too much. High tree pollen, just a tad bit of some mold pollen. And as we watch these temperatures change, we'll see those mid 70s through maybe Sunday and then jump up into the 80s in the early work week. It will get warmer after we get these spring showers out of the way. Discovery Outer Group's 7-day forecast has essentially today the only last day in the 60s before we see the 70s and then 80s again with the return of that sunshine. Now Montrose are not very far behind. Those evening lows will be on that cooler side of things in the upper 30s before we start to see 40s on that low end of things come Sunday. And then of course in the early work week we will see those 70s even again.